It's nice to see all of you here today. I'm Marilyn Giuliano, the state representative from the 23rd District. 23rd District is Lime, Saybrook, and the coast of Westbrook. I've got the best district in the state of Connecticut. In the House. I was going to say in deference to my legislative colleague, whom I enjoy working with. She also was my state senator. A 5-term Republican from the 23rd District, 3 terms on the Education Committee. This is my 2nd term as the ranking member. I have had the good fortune to be a practicing school psychologist for over 30 years in Connecticut's public schools. I'm currently working in the Lime Regional School District, but I have worked in all different DIRGs and places in Connecticut, urban, suburban, and now in a rural placement. And I think you can tell that I enjoy my work, which is what has anchored me for the 30-some-odd years as a school psychologist. I think the unique perspective that combination of roles illustrates to all of you today is that I look upon the legislature and policy making as the 30,000-foot level of things. And of course, all of you who come from classrooms, I mean, my office is right around the corner from a classroom, and I often have enough kids in there to practically qualify to be a classroom when I'm doing group work. I think you can see that I have a foot in each domain. I'm there in the trenches as you are, and I am each and every day, and I'm also there at the policy-making level. So it gives me an unusual perspective in terms of making laws that are real for real kids and real teachers. Address the achievement gap issue with you specifically. I'm very pleased that the minority leader appointed me to the Closing the Achievement Gap Task Force. I was especially pleased to see Andrea's appointment as well, because the seamlessness of carryover to the legislative process will clearly be there. But as all of you know, the achievement gap is an issue which has haunted Connecticut education and educators for years and years and years. And in fact, it seems to me to be a seminal entity that is driving a good deal of what is at least being discussed as potential public policy. And that has to do with test taking, with linking teacher performance and evaluation with the outcomes of students. That all is a part of that. And to me, that raises enormous issues for practitioners such as myself and all of you within the classroom. So the business of working on the task force has a great deal of import and meaning to me, and I think as time rolls out and we continue to discuss issues under discussion in the legislature this past session did not come to statutory fruition. However, teachers and teaching and your evaluation and your day-to-day experiences and realities in the classroom were very much on the minds and lips of policymakers in Hartford. I was not supportive of secondary school reform for a couple of reasons. That's why we elect boards of education to reflect the local ability to pay, the local mores, the qualities of individual communities to step forward and say, this is important in our community, this can be delayed in our community. But also, as an educator, I have to say that if you want the biggest bang for your buck in terms of student learning, we should be front-loading our money at the preschool and primary levels as opposed to secondary, because by the time kids are at the secondary level, there are innumerable windows of developmental and learning opportunity that have closed. I guess my bias is showing just a little bit, but you know, what Andrea is saying is true, and we all try to give a model for our secondary school reform so that high schools could understand what to aspire to. But basically, I wanted to paint the other side of the picture, and that is front-loading our money and our initiatives at the earliest levels. We know that there is a significant socioeconomic difference in the language competencies of kids who come from poverty versus kids who come from affluence. No surprise, especially if you guys work at preschool or primary levels. But how might we intervene to enrich the experience of our youngest learners in a way that makes them on solid learning footing with their peers right from the start. For my money, I think that they have a better chance at overall long-term success than if we delay our reforms and our investments to secondary education.